Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel for another historical episode. And today's historical episode is on Nostradamus. Michael de Nostradamus, commonly known as Nostradamus, was a French astrologer, physician, and reputed seer. Born on December 14, 1503 in Saint-Rémy-de-Provence, France, he is best known for his book of prophecies titled Les Prophéties, which was published in 1555, and it contained over 942 poetic quatrains or poems, which purported to predict futuristic events. Now, Nostradamus' education. Nostradamus enrolled in university to study medicine when he was only 14 years old. However, an outbreak of the bubonic plague forced him to leave after just only 1 year. He claims that at this time he worked as an apothecary and traveled across the countryside, researching herbal cures. Now, an apothecary, for those of you who don't know, is a person who created medicine or home remedies for the public, usually traveling around with their product. Another example would be almost like a snake oil salesman. He re-enrolled in university in 1522 to finish his medical degree. He occasionally voiced disagreements with the Catholic priests' teachings, which disregarded his ideas about astrology. According to some sources, he was actually expelled from school after university administrators learned of his prior work as an apothecary. It appears that the school had a negative opinion of anyone engaged in what was seen as a manual trade. The majority of reports, however, claim he was not actually expelled and was granted a medical license in 1525. Like many medieval scholars, he Latinized his name at this period from Nostradame to Nostradamus. Plague work. Nostradamus treated plague patients while traveling across France and parts of Italy over the course of the following few years. Since there was no known cure at the time, the majority of physicians used mercury-based potions, bloodletting, and draping patients in robes soaked with garlic. Nostradamus created some extremely innovative strategies to combat the epidemic. Instead of bleeding his victims, he encouraged the removal of the dead bodies from the city streets and practiced good cleanliness. He gained notoriety for developing the rose pill, a vitamin C-rich herbal lozenge derived from rose hips, which is basically a berry or a fruit that offered some relief to people suffering from minor symptoms of the plague. Keeping his patients clean, giving them low-fat diets, and giving them lots of fresh air are all factors in his remarkable healing rate. As a result of his therapies, Nostradamus eventually became somewhat of a local celebrity and was financially supported by many province residents. He received a multitude of invitations from scholars all over Europe to work and develop cures and academic research. While on a journey to cure plague victims in Italy, Nostradamus' wife and child died of a disease presumed to be the plague at that time. While he was traveling on a medical mission to Italy, and grieving from his family's death caused him to not be able to cure or aid many victims of the plague. Many died, causing Nostradamus to fall out of favor in the community. Nostradamus and the occult. In 1538, Nostradamus was accused of heresy after making an offhand remark regarding a holy statue. He made an intelligent decision to leave Provence and spend several years traveling across Italy, Greece, and Turkey after being summoned to appear before the Inquisition. It is thought that Nostradamus had a psychic awakening while visiting the old mystery schools. According to one of Nostradamus' legends, he discovered a group of Franciscan monks while traveling in Italy and recognized one of them as the future pope. Nostradamus' prophecy was realized in 1585 when the monk Felice Petit was ordained Pope Sixtus V. He returned to France and married a widow named Anne. They would actually go on to have 6 children together, 3 boys and 3 girls. Nostradamus gradually began to lean more toward the occult and less toward medicine. He reportedly meditated for hours at night in his study while standing in front of a bowl of water and herbs. Visions and a trance would be brought on by the concentration. His future prophecies are thought to have been based on the visions. As a part of his first almanac, Nostradamus started writing about his visions. The release was well welcomed and helped Nostradamus become well known throughout France, which inspired him to write more books and almanacs. These writings would go on to create Les Prophéties, the most notable of his writings. Now, here are just a few of his accomplishments summed up. Medical practice in the 1530s. Nostradamus began his medical practice notably treating victims during plague outbreaks in France and Italy. He gained a reputation for his innovative treatments and his willingness to experiment with the unorthodox methods. Les Prophéties, his most famous work, is a collection of quatrains organized into centuries. The book gained immense popularity and has been continuously in print since its first publication. Court astrologer. Nostradamus' fame as a seer reached the French court. He was invited by Catherine de Medicis, queen consort of Henry II of France, to create horoscopes for their children. Physician in ordinary. In 1564, he was appointed as the physician in ordinary, which, if you don't know what that means, it's basically a private doctor to King Charles IX, further cementing his reputation. Predictions. Nostradamus' predictions have been both celebrated and debated for centuries. Some of his most frequently cited predictions include the French Revolution. Some believe Nostradamus predict the upheaval and transformation of the French Revolution. And this is what he said. From the enslaved populace, songs, chants, and demands, while princesses and lords are held captive in prisons. These will, in the future, be headless idiots, be received as divine prayers. The second prediction was the rise of Adolf Hitler. Certain interpretations of his quatrains suggest he foresaw the rise of Hitler and the horrors of World War II. Nostradamus wrote this: "From the depths of the west of Europe, a young child will be born of poor people. He who, by his tongue, will seduce a great troop. His fame will increase towards the realm of the East." The September 11th, 2001 attacks. Some quatrains are thought to describe the terroristic attacks of the World Trade Center. Nostradamus wrote this: "Earth-shaking fire from the center of the earth will cause tremors around the new city. 2 great rocks will war for a long time. Then Odrusa will redden a new river." Another is the COVID-19 pandemic. Research interpretations have linked his prophecies to the global pandemic, and he wrote this: "The great plague of the maritime city will not cease until there be avenged the death of the just blood condemned for a price without crime, of the great lady outraged by pretense." The following are some of the 2025 prophecies as prescribed by Nostradamus. Number 1. England's wars and ancient plague. Nostradamus suggests that England could face devastating wars and the resurgence of an ancient plague. This could refer to internal strife or external conflicts with far-reaching consequences. A cosmic threat. A massive asteroid referred to as the harbinger of fate may pose a threat to Earth. Whether it collides with Earth or passes close by, its presence could cause widespread fear and potential destruction. A scientific breakthrough. Nostradamus foresaw a monumental leap in science during the 21st century and the year 2025, which may herald a groundbreaking discovery. Global economic crisis. He predicted a global economic crisis that could cause millions to lose money overnight, and an environmental disaster. The Garden of the World, possibly the Amazon rainforest, could face devastating floods. A mysterious leader. A mysterious leader could emerge from the depths of the sea and lead a new aquatic empire. Cyber wars. Silent wars fought through cyber attacks could cause havoc across the globe, targeting infrastructure, financial systems, and digital communications. Critics argue that his predictions are often vague and, of course, open-minded to multiple interpretations, making it easy to fit them to a wide range of events after they have already occurred. Nevertheless, Nostradamus' work continues to captivate and intrigue people around the world. Now, later in life, in the later years of his life, Nostradamus continued his work as an astrologer and a physician. His fame and influence grew, attracting the attention from notable figures across Europe. Further publications. Following the success of Les Prophéties, Nostradamus published several more almanacs. These contained annual predictions and were highly sought after by the public. He continued to write and update his quatrains, adding to his body of work. Personal challenges. Despite his success, Nostradamus faced personal challenges. He suffered from gout and arthritis, which gradually worsened over the years. In his later life, he also had to deal with critics and skeptics who questioned the validity of his predictions and accused him of being a fraud. And Nostradamus' death. Nostradamus suffered from gout and arthritis, again for most of his adulthood. In the final years of his life, the illness progressed to edema or dropsy, a condition in which abnormally high volumes of fluid build up under the bodily cavities or beneath the skin. If left untreated, the illness may lead to congestive heart failure. Nostradamus' health declined significantly in the year 1566. He is said to have even predicted his own death, allegedly telling his secretary, "You will not find me alive at sunrise." Nostradamus passed away on July 1st or the 2nd in 1566 in Salon-de-Provence, France. His burial place is the Church of the Cordeliers in Salon. Nostradamus' legacy. Most of the quatrains Nostradamus composed during his life dealt with disasters such as earthquakes, wars, floods, invasions, murders, droughts, battles, and plagues. Nostradamus' followers have credited him with predicting numerous events in the world history, including the French Revolution, the rise of Hitler and Napoleon, the development of the atomic bomb, the assassination on John Kennedy, the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks, and the rise of COVID-19, just to name a few. Nostradamus' popularity seems to be due in part to the fact that the vagueness of his writings and their lack of specific dates make it easy to be selectively quote them after any major dramatic event and claim them as true. Some scholars believe he was not writing to be a prophet, but writing to comment on the events of his time and the people in it. Whatever his method or intentions, Nostradamus' timeless predictions continue to make him popular to those seeking answers to life's more difficult questions. And to finish this up, Nostradamus' life was a blend of medicine, astrology, and mystery. Despite the controversies surrounding his predictions, his influence on popular culture and historical studies remains undeniable. Thanks for watching. If you liked this episode, please like, comment, and subscribe. And look, a video here and a playlist here. You should watch those. And if you hate my content, look, there's a little face of me in the middle. You should punch that and hit the subscribe button. That'll really show me. So hopefully you subscribe. And if you hate me, subscribe just to show me up. I will see you all in the next episode.